What's up, everybody? We're back here again with another rundown with Prodigy and The Magicman. We're going to go over this last week's fights, which was headlined by Anthony Smith, who took on John Jones. We're going to kind of go through that fight card, and then once we get through all those fights, we'll go on to our predictions for the fight night coming up. Derek Lewis versus Dos Santos. So go ahead and start off, Jay.
Let's start with Diego Sanchez and Mickey Gall.
Did he really bite Diego Sanchez?
Yes. Well, I didn't see the actual video of him biting him, but I saw the Instagram where Diego has like a little ring around his boob.
I've seen that too.
You know, but
it's pretty wild.
It was pretty crazy because like Diego Sanchez, I was listening to something where he's been fighting for 17 years.
Yeah.
Because he was the original Ultimate Fighter winner.
Yep, he's been in the UFC I think for 14 years is what they were saying.
Was it 14?
So
but he had a couple fights before that.
He was like King of the Cage champion, like 2 weight divisions or something.
Yeah, something insane.
Crazy thing about Diego that I think about is that he started at like 185.
Yep.
Went down to 45 at one point, and now he's back up to 170.
Yep.
I think he's a good weight class.
And you know, he still looked really good.
He did.
He was fit, and he didn't look fat, but like...
And he was dominant. That was
the
scariest thing. As
gave
once he got
it to
a hold
Mickey
of
Gall.
Mickey Gall, he was not letting it up.
And you know, Mickey Gall was kind of somebody that the UFC I was thinking was starting to kind of push behind.
Yeah, and Mickey asked for this fight, and I think he didn't really realize.
I think people think that Diego should be done, but he's just so goddamn crazy that he will not quit.
Yeah, and he's always had that heart, that determination, that grit.
That crazy
wrestling.
factor.
Yeah, he's always been a little crazy. I remember him on The Ultimate Fighter just like praying on one foot, then he'd come out to all his fights, yes, and people were like, who is this psycho?
Right? Because it was him and Nick Diaz, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was Nick, yep. Because Nick is a little bit bigger, so yeah, I think it would be Nick that kind of went at it. That was a while ago. That was when he was first kind of coming off the
I think that might have been in
Fighter.
like 8th or 9th grade.
Yeah, I was really young too. I don't even know if I was fighting yet either. I don't know. I wasn't because it was the first Ultimate Fighter. That's crazy. But Mickey Gall, I want to say he's a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu. Diego's a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu, and you could really tell the difference between the high level. Yeah, and you could tell that Diego's been in there, and he's been through a lot of those situations.
Yeah.
As where Mickey.
Because like I said, I didn't look up his record, but.
Yeah, Diego's probably got a million fights. I know when he first started, he got an Ultimate Fighter, he was like 14-0 or 12-0 or something. Then he went all the way up to like 16 or 18-0, and like everybody thought like he was never gonna be beat, you know. So he was always a big prospect, and you know he's had a couple rough years the last few years, but I think that's just kind of finding a home of what weight works best for him. And he doesn't fight anybody easy, you know. Like
no, every fight of his is a go to war type of fight.
It's top 10 guys, which Mickey Gall again was trying to get that step up to get to that top 10. I just don't think Mickey realized what a top 10 fighter really is like, especially at that 170, that 150.
Because his big fight is
he beat up CM Punk.
CM Punk, and then he fight out
Sage Northcutt, right?
So you're fighting 2 rookies that have barely ever been in the cage, which I guess at that time he still was too, but no offense to the other 2.
He outclassed them too. And you could tell that it was weird to see him outclass. I mean, CM Punk's whatever, but
Sage
Northcutt is a very good fighter, and he was completely outclassed too by him. And I remember it was like
Sage was still so young, I believe, and I think he's still got a few years on him. Maybe.
I think so too, and his jiu-jitsu is so much better than Sage's once they kind of got
because he had that fancy karate kind of like let's spin around and kick, but
and Sage is fun, but he was never.
Which I believe he's got a ONE FC fight coming up.
Is he in ONE FC now?
Yep.
Yeah, I knew
he just got signed.
Good.
So, but anyways, Diego finishes fight in the second round, sets it up with a knee to the face that drops Mickey Gall.
And to be honest, I think Mickey was done a little bit before that. He was just falling apart, and Diego's on top of him, and Diego does that scream where he's like, ha, 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 and he's just hitting him every time, and there's no it was just relentless. There was no give. Diego was never going to slow down in that fight, and unfortunately, Mickey I just don't think he realized what it was like to be in there with somebody like that who was going to really grind you.
That kind of intensity.
And yeah. But I mean, I would probably bet Diego too if I was Mickey. That was rough. It was hard to watch too because Mickey's such a young, nice guy, and he's very well spoken, and and he's got a lot of good things going for him. But again, that's what I think he needed to see. Like, well, if I really want to step up my game and make it to that level, I have to be able to beat guys like this. And if you can't beat a guy like Diego, you're not gonna be able to get to the top 5.
Like he's been kind of like the guy that kind of stands at the door. If you
It's
want
like
to
the
make it to
gatekeeper,
level,
yeah.
yep, gatekeeper. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I definitely think that Diego, and I definitely think that's what this was a good test for Mickey, but he failed unfortunately pretty badly. So I like to see him go, and find somebody a little bit newer again, maybe a top 20 guy or something, somebody
Yep.
that's within that 15-20, and get the momentum going back in his favor. 'Cause again, he's a young, good kid. I mean, he's only purple belt, so he's only getting better.
Yeah.
This is just a step back. I think this will just make him realize I gotta put up that intensity. and
Work
that
harder,
endurance.
man.
Yep. And everybody gets to that point at some time in their career, so it's
Yep.
good to see him get here. But again, it was a really, really rough night for Mickey Gall. But hats off to Diego, because it's great to see him back in there after this long, still in there, and still being able to just push and push and push. And yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens next for 170.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good weight class for him for sure.
Because really, I mean, 170 is just full of monsters right now, which I guess we'll get into a little bit later. But even 155 is full of monsters.
Yep, 55, 70, those are really hard weight classes for anybody.
Yeah.
45 is really starting to be a really good weight class too.
There's a lot of stack
There's a lot of
cards coming
weights,
up. Yep.
205 is being huge right now. Like, it's a very good time for UFC and MMA in general. Just there's so many good guys coming up.
Yeah.
So
Which Johnny Walker, this is like his 4th or 5th fight, I believe.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he comes out with another first round finish.
Right away.
36 seconds flying knee to the face, which I was like, okay, John Jones can throw flying knees, but what other light heavyweight do you see throw flying knees?
And he's knocking people out like quick every single fight.
Yeah, I don't think he's made it past the first round yet.
Yeah, it was his 3rd or 4th fight in the UFC, and he's undefeated now, like 10-0, 12-0 or something
Yep.
like that. He's definitely somebody to watch out for. The big thing though is that he fell and hurt his arm.
He didn't fall and hurt his arm.
Well,
he went and tried to do a worm,
Yeah, which I
was
laughed so
hilarious.
hard because when he got up, the first thing I thought was like, no way, did he just hurt his arm falling and celebrating?
Well, his last fight, he jumped off the top of the cage and hurt his knee.
Did he?
Yeah, so this is like a regular thing for this guy.
Well, I know he's a wild man because the stories I heard. Apparently, he was a stripper in Brazil.
Yep, I heard that
as well.
story.
I'm sure if you watch Rogan, you heard that as well. But apparently, the guy can move and he's a little wild. So I mean,
You
those
can't hold
Brazilian
that
guys
crazy.
too. Yeah, no, you cannot. And the thing is, too, is I just want to see somebody get a hold of this guy and like let's see this guy actually get in a fight. And
Yeah.
fall.
See, I would like to see him get dragged into a later round, just because he passes that test, 2 or 3 of those, and then he's got John Jones, or he's got that light heavyweight champion looking at himself.
And
You
he's
know?
very close. And he's a big 205 from what it looks like. He looks like he's very tall and very
6'6",
muscular.
I believe.
6'6", that's all it was.
Yep.
And the guy he fought, Misha.
That was supposed to be his test.
Misha was supposed to be a really good, tough guy. He was beat up with a lot of guys too. And
Yeah.
he
Spot
walked
right through him again.
And the weird thing is too is Johnny looked all like happy. And Misha just like, I'm gonna murder this.
Yeah.
And then it went from that face of being like murder to he got kneed, and when he hit the ground, it looked like a little kid just got beat up on the ground. Like he was like, oh, my face is broken. This is not a feeling that he was ever expecting. And it just came out of nowhere. They're just standing there, bam, and he was in the air, kneed him in his face.
It was beautiful.
Like, oh my God.
I loved it.
It was very good. But again, Johnny Walker's another guy coming up, and let's see where he goes. Let's give him a good test. This guy deserves a good test because the last 2 or 3.
So who would you match him up with next at 205?
I would say somebody. I don't know, whoever's top 5 right now. I'd go with. Maybe the top.
Because I believe Smith is he's got to be within the top 5. So
Smith, yeah,
4 or 5.
4 or 3. Because we got Gustafson, Jones, Anthony Smith's there, Glover Tatarov if he's even in the mix anymore.
Yeah, because I believe that. Who did I just see that they're trying to mix up that Gustafson with? We'll have to look into that later.
Yeah,
but
I would like to see Gustafson and Anthony Smith go at it. I think that'd be a good fight. I think they're both coming off losses too.
Well,
to John Jones.
Jones goes to heavyweight hopefully.
Maybe.
And you give Gustafson
and Smith
that title shot. Hopefully, that's what I'm hoping.
That just waters down that way. I mean,
just because I want to see Jones actually compete, and there's nobody really like. We'll talk about it later, just that fight in general. But yep. So yeah, that was Johnny Walker coming back, and
and honestly, there's not really much you can say. I mean, he came out.
Because that was his
Super calm.
second fight within a couple months, I believe.
Yeah, and second knockout because the last fight was that elbow, nice clean, bam, elbow, and the guy fell. And I was like, what the hell are you? It looked like it was almost like written that way.
Can you script this shit?
Yeah, I hope so. Because I hope not.
Right?
Brain damage I took, damn it. We would have scripted a little more of those. But yeah, there's not really much you can say about this fight. Just he came out and looked super calm. He looked ready. The guy was supposed to be a
The
killer,
man loves
but-
Mickey Mouse, though.
Does he? Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Mickey Mouse. Oh, Jesus. He's so funny.
Right?
Um,
Like I said.
so, yeah,
can't
that's
control
Johnny
crazy.
Walker. Look out for him in the future. That's definitely who we're keeping our eye on in that 205 division to see where, I think he can mix it up too a lot with, if he goes against guys like Anthony Smith.
Because, you're expecting from Brazil, he's got to have a ground game, right?
I'm pretty sure he's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, which we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, and so, let's see what happens when somebody takes him down and he starts submitting people in 30 seconds now.
Like, I'd like to see that second in the third round fight for him.
Lately, he doesn't want to give people a chance.
Yeah.
He just kind of lets them have it. That flying knee was just so it just came out.
It was thrown beautifully.
Yeah, the timed exactly perfect.
Yeah.
So the 145 division we're talking about is getting pretty stacked too, and two guys that are really high up in that, probably they're definitely top 10, maybe even both top 5 right now. Jerry Stevens and
Zabit.
Zabit. Yeah,
I'm
that's
not
your
even
guy.
going to
That's
throw
your
a
guy.
fucking chain at that last name.
No. He's from
Never have to
Dagestan,
cheat it
so-
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, Zabit, who, I've watched a lot of his old, Russia fights, and he's been working his way up to this for a while, I believe. And he's came into the UFC and had some good finishes. He do that weird knee bar from the back mount.
That's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah, it was strange. And, he came into this fight. I feel like both these guys kind of sat back, though. Because you know how James Stevens is always that comeback guy? And Zabit kind of playing him off and just kind of controlled the fight the whole time.
He kept that distance very well.
Yeah, he controlled the pace and controlled the fight,
Yeah.
which gave us to the
He did
unanimous
exactly what
decision.
you said he was going to do too, and I thought Stevens could close that distance and get in close and just make it a dirty fight, and he didn't have the chance to.
Yeah,
He caught him with a couple good punches, but really it was all Zabit.
and Zabit threw a couple of those spin back kicks that I was hoping for.
Yeah, those wheel kicks, and he's a wild man. And
Yeah. He's so quick when he's throwing those things.
very quick, and I hadn't seen enough of him to really understand how good he was, and you were hyping him up too, so I kind of believed it a little bit, but
Well, he's from Vegas State. Can you get any better than
so
that?
he's going to
They
wrestle.
breed those
on
guys
top
over
of
there.
this good stand up that he has. He's going to be able to his ground game is going to be pretty much on point. But I was hoping Stevens could make it a dogfight, and he never got the opportunity to.
Yeah.
There was a couple times where he threw some good combinations, but the beat was really good, and he was on his toes. And I remember he would circle one way, and then he'd move a right one. He got Junior Stevens to plant, he'd hit him.
Yep.
And it was like, damn, he was just getting him, and Jeremy Stevens couldn't figure out that rhythm of how he's moving back and forth, and
Because he's kind of an awkward.
he is, and he's really tall.
Yeah.
I was surprised how tall and long he was compared to Stevens. That was just a great fight, but again, he needs another tough top guy, maybe top 2, top 3, and then he's pretty close to getting that Holloway, or whoever the champ is at the
Yeah,
time.
I'd probably give him 2 more wins, another in that top 10 division, and
No, because he could always fight maybe like a Jose Aldo or somebody next, and put another good veteran underneath his belt as a win, and then maybe get the title shot. But it's weird because Max Holloway is now going up to the 155 to fight. He's fighting Poirier, so I wonder what's going to happen with that division. So I wonder if he's going to just vacate his belt, because I know for a long time that they've been saying that it's really hard for him to make that 45 weight cut because he's so big.
yeah.
So now he's going to go to 55. So I wonder what they're going to do with that whole 45 title, and who's going to take that over, because that's a really interesting weight class with a lot of good guys. So it's going to be very interesting to see where that goes with Holloway coming up. And maybe Holloway's just coming up to test the waters at 55, and maybe he'll go back
No,
down
I
to
don't like this
45.
very much.
Yeah, maybe they hit a little too hard for him.
Because he's got matched up against who did you say?
Dustin Poirier.
Justin Poirier,
Yeah. That's a fucking dynamite fight, dude. Just Dustin Poirier comes to brawl.
Right. I was so mad when him and Nate Diaz got canceled.
Yeah, that sucked.
That made me sad.
That style of Holloway, just that boxing and just putting punches on you, and he does kind of like what the Diaz boys do, but he does it maybe even a step further. Where he's a little more technical.
But I feel like the Diaz do it from a back step, he goes that walking in.
Yeah, he keeps coming and dragging you down.
Yep.
And trying to drown you the whole time with punches. And you definitely seen that when he fought Brian Ortega. Just especially that fourth round where he told Joe
Which
Rogan
I think
to come in.
Ortega just called out Aldo.
That'd be a good fucking fight. That'd be a great fight, dude.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Both Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts, both can stand and bang. But those leg kicks of Aldo,
I was just gonna say, I think Aldo's just gonna be.
that's tough. I would love to see that one. All right.
Anyway,
We'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
Pedro.
Pedro and Garbrandt. Man, I feel like the first 4 minutes, it was like 4 minutes and 30 seconds or 40 seconds into the first round.
I gotta be honest, I didn't watch this fight. I didn't even see highlights for it yet. It
Okay.
sucks. I was looking for him.
Total dogfight, just back and forth. I
That's
think
what it
Pedro
sounds
dropped it once. Cody was like stumbling. Finally, until Pedro just caught Cody right on the chin. And like we said earlier, that glass jaw got to him.
Yeah, we called that, and it was unfortunate, but I knew that was gonna be.
And you know, like when I was listening to the post-fight interviews, like that was kind of Pedro's plan, was to keep dragging him into that brawl, waiting, hitting him with that counter too, I believe it was. And he just knew, like he could do that a few times and kind of like cover up, bang, cover up, bang. And that he knew that he was going to catch Garbrandt one of those times.
And Dominic Cruz said this, is that he feels for Cody because he knows what it's like to be in there and get hit and kind of get emotional and let the emotions take over.
Yeah.
Because he says that that's what happened to him in the Garbrandt fight. His Garbrandt got in his head and he hit him, got mad, and then he just stopped the fight. He just came to fight instead of actually trying to work against
Which is
him.
strange because, like, I don't know if Cody was mad in that fight, but he seemed to control the emotion of that fight. And, like, these last three, two with Dillashaw, one with Pedro now,
Yeah.
it seems like the other guys that pushed him out of his comfort zone and got him to freak out or
Yeah,
not
that's what it
control his
sounds like.
emotions. Or
I was just listening to Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub because I wanted to, I missed this fight, so I wanted to kind of see what their ideas was. But it sounds like that it was the same exact thing as once Cody got clipped, he kind of got mad and that ego got the best of him, and he was just like, basically kind of
we're going to throw until one of us
Yeah,
drops.
exactly. We're gonna throw it, and one of us are gonna go down. And unfortunately for Cody, the last few years, his chin just hasn't held up for those brawls.
Well, I think it's been under a year. Because I think he went from being like almost unranked a year and a half ago to being the champion and now losing 3 knockout fights.
It's scary. It's bad for your brain. I think Schaub was saying he'll be all right, but it's just that can't be good for you.
No.
And it wasn't like it was just a one-punch knockout. Like you said, it was like they brawled and they were both taking heavy punches, and then he got clipped and put down. So
Yeah.
he was already taking
Taking that damage
yeah,
to
a good
start
amount of
from the
damage ahead of
get
that.
go.
And it's just scary. It sucks. Cody, I don't know what's going to be next for that kid. It sucks because I don't know if he can go to 25. I don't know if he
they're
can
getting
rank
rid of it.
25. They're supposed to be getting rid of it, but we'll see.
I mean, if Garbrandt did go down to it, it would at least give that 25 division a name.
Yeah, but...
But, like, who's he going to fight?
Yeah, he wouldn't deserve the title right away.
Yeah.
There'd be no way, especially going off 3 losses. He's in a really tough position right now, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with him. Honestly, he might even get cut, and maybe he could be the next one to ONE FC or somewhere like that,
Yeah.
Bellator or something. Which sucks, but it's hard, especially being in the UFC, that caliber, just losing that many fights in a row the same way. I mean, it's hard to see them put him back in with a top 5 or top 10 guy.
I hope you
But
guys
then it's
couldn't
like-
hear that growl.
Getting hungry. Or
Starting that cut.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's hard. So, and I think he'll walk through any top 15 guy, but once he gets to the top 10, top 5 again, it's just.
Yeah.
I don't know if that chin will hold up. Like his skill and his technique and everything is on point. It's just that chin that really, really bothers me, and it scares me again because 3 knockouts in a row the same exact way, getting in brawls. It just.
Maybe spend some time with the mental coach.
Maybe, yeah, and just take some time off. Maybe just walk away and just take a year off.
Because you got that team around you. Because he's with Uriah.
And Alpha Male, they're
At
always
Alpha Male.
grinding. There's no half-ass in the pussy rounds or what any of that stuff. They're always going at it. Which it is what it is, but it's just one of those things that's put him in a really tough predicament, being a fighter. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to Pedro though. It sounds like he's the next up and comer, and
But he's been around for a
Most of
while.
everything you
This wasn't.
Has he been around for a while?
Yeah.
I've never heard of him before this fight.
I think he was somewhere in the middle for a long time, and they were giving him They were giving him to Garbrandt as a stepping stone back into the mix, and then Garbrandt couldn't pass the test.
Yeah.
You know?
That's unfortunate, but it's good for Pedro. That's a good boost in his.
Yeah.
You know,
It's great for
Pedro.
Pedro.
And I know they won fight of the night, so they both got $50,000 for that. So
I believe him and Johnny Walker both got performance of the night. Because Johnny Walker's fight got performance of the night too.
Yep, and then I want to say it was Usman paid the Garbrandt fight won fight of the night, and then Johnny Walker and Usman I want to say won like performance of the night or something like that.
Yeah, because I was looking at that, but
Yeah, but I know 4 people got $4,000, so that's pretty exciting. But I was just listening to the gates earlier because Dana White always talks about how many people showed up and how much they sold or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was just one of those little things he threw out there.
yeah,
The next fight though, I didn't see the next fight.
it was the women's fight.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either because that was Pedro, and this fight was when I was coming from the house to the gym to meet everybody for the fights. So
Cutting
I
over.
missed those two. Yep.
Yep. It was Willa. Sure, I'm saying it wrong because it's Chinese.
Yeah.
Zhang versus Tisha Torres, and I gotta say, these two girls were jacked at 115. Like
Yeah.
6 packs just ripped out of their minds. Like probably 4'2", but just ripped out of their minds. And it was a really kind of exciting fight because it was kind of like pushing back and forth both ways. And they're trying to push this Willa Zhang to be the first Chinese women's champion.
Yeah, she's
That's
like
kind of her
17
big
now or something. Right?
deal right now, yeah. And Tisha Torres has been around for a while, kind of in like that 5 to 10 range, I believe.
Yep. That's
And yeah, it was a real good back and forth fight for 3 rounds, and Zhang took the unanimous decision out of that.
sounds like she was winning the fight with kicks, right? Is that right?
Believe
Push
so.
kicks and just kind of keep the distance like that.
Yeah.
Again, that's a fight that I missed, unfortunately. I didn't get to all the fights. Driving across town screws me. Yeah, but I know Tisha, she's been around for a really long time. Her wife's in the UFC as well.
Oh damn, she is a wife.
Yeah. This place in Rocky, Raquel Pennington is her wife.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they might have even met on the Ultimate Fighter or something. But yeah, they're married now, and so they're both really super tough, work super hard. But I know Tisha, she went to a new gym for this fight they're talking about, just because the gym that she was at, basically the only girl that they really had to work with was her wife, and her wife's like a 135er.
Okay.
So she's quite a bit bigger than her. So she went to a gym where they had quite a few 115s, yeah, for her to work with. So it sounds like she finally got a good camp.
Better camp around her?
Yeah, with people who were actually her size and weren't kind of getting thrown around the whole time.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately it didn't pay off as well as she was hoping, but it was still a good showing. You know, she
Good show,
made a
yeah.
decision, she didn't get finished. And I know Tisha's super tough. She's had some really good fights. Her and Rose Namajuanis had a really good fight back in the day too. So she's had some really good fights, and so I don't think this is one that will probably knock her down too much.
She'll be back, definitely.
She'll just probably still stay in that 6 to 10 range or 5 to 10.
Because
range,
Rose is
like
the
that.
champ still, right?
I believe so. Rose is the champ, and then they have. God, what is that blonde girl's name? No, she's a weighted class above that. She's a 125er. That's right. Because she beat up Joanna, the blonde girl that beat up Joanna last. I can't think of her name though. Very pretty lady, but ass kicker too.
Is it the Yana Kushinan that's fighting in the prelims of the next card?
I don't think it's her. No,
Okay.
no.
Because it was a girl from Sweden, Poland, somewhere.
Something like that. Yeah, blonde lady. I just cannot think of the name. I'm horrible with the ladies' names, unfortunately. I don't watch as much fighting as I used to. So the next fight was the one that we actually were looking forward to the most and had the most controversy.
Oh
too.
God, I had a little heart attack at the beginning of the
Sucks.
fight.
Yeah, it started out pretty adventurous, but
It scared the shit out of me, dude.
It ended pretty
You see fucking
rough.
Asker just get dropped on his head?
It was like the torture rack. Like, I think there's some professional wrestling move for it, but yeah, I just dumped him right in his head.
Yeah.
Askren did not look like the Askren I thought he was going to. Like, he looked chubby and bloated.
He
and
came in
out
with
of
that
shape.
total dad bod.
And I know he put it on his Instagram after, like, maybe the day or two after the fight that it's like, can you believe this is the optimal combat sports body? And it's like, dude, it's not at all,
like,
bro. Like,
you know, yeah.
He's so good, but it's sad to see him just not give a fuck, you know. Like,
You know, but see, here's kind of the cool and like thing out of this fight that I saw was that he got dropped on his head. And then he had his wrist locked behind his back, just taking bombs from Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
And he kept pushing, kept pacing. And he got back up to his feet into the bulldog choke, which ended up finishing it, which is so controversial, which I'm sure everybody said around. But you know, it was kind of cool to see the pace being pushed towards him where he wasn't totally dominant, fought back, and ended up getting one.
Yep, and yeah, like you said, he didn't just come out and just hold somebody down for 3 rounds, 5 rounds. You know what he's been known to do.
Where his eye was swelled shut, cut open, like just to see him still keep fighting, not being one of those guys that like, oh shit, I'm not gonna win now. I might as well just give up.
Right.
You know.
And he was definitely hurt. There was definitely a point because I know Joe Rogan and them were yelling that he was out, he's out, and you know it very well could have been that he was out.
I was watching every punch go like, oh my god, Herbee's gonna stop the fight right now.
That was so rough. Yeah, and then he gets up, gets into that bulldog choke, and the way he got in the bulldog choke was so weird because he like reaches out real weird and then just kind of snatched it. And I was like, I don't think that's gonna work for you.
I actually saw a video, and it must not have been recent because it was like summertime, and he's from Wisconsin also. There's no green grass. But he squeezed 2 big old watermelons with his hands and popped them both. So I mean, he must have a pretty good grip there. He's got that squeeze.
I've heard that he's like one of those guys that doesn't look strong, but once he gets a hold of you, he's like one of the strongest people in the world. Just because
got that slow person strength.
Yeah.
I didn't want to.
It's called wrestler strength. You know, it's just that old grappling, just doing it forever. You know exactly how to push, pull, where to squeeze. You know, and just it's technique along with that strength of just knowing. You know, once you get a hold of somebody, how to hold them properly. There's nobody who's better at technique than wrestling. I don't think of the 170 division than Askren. Again, it was so weird, and I don't think he had been hit, and I want to say it was like he did like 2 years or 18 months or something. He had like 6 fights.
Well, I don't think he's even had a fight in a year.
Yeah, not in a while. But
and then the year before that,
before he retired, it was like 18 months that he had like 4 fights, never got hit in 1 fight. Never took 1 punch in any of those fights because, like I said, he just take people down, hold them down, and beat on. You know, either beat on them or just wear them out until the end of the round. Until the end of the fight. So it's good to see him, like you said, come back for that controversy and actually get hit and see what he's kind of made of. I definitely thought he was dead for a little while there, but again, Robbie says he didn't tap. He didn't tap, but he says that he went limp, but he gave a thumbs up. But
see, like I can see it both ways and every way. Because first off, the choke was not under the chin.
No.
But I've been in chokes, and I'm sure you have too, where you're right here, and you go out.
No.
Because you don't need to be around the chin. You can get this little brain cut off right here. I don't know how or why, but you get in that position and you will go limp.
Yep.
And which, in that case, Herb Dean should have stopped the fight because we all saw the arm drop.
Right.
You know?
And me and you, we've both been choked out, and we've been choked to like that point of where we're like out, we kind of go limp, and then we're like, oh, what?
Where you like by the time you hit the ground, you're back up like what?
I feel like that kind of happened to Robbie,
especially with such a tough guy like Robbie,
and then just came back. You know, there was no like,
and it's like that.
He was like trying to reach up and fight a different spot. You know, it was like he just completely let go. And then I did see the thumbs up, and you can see it from a different camera angle. But if you're the referee and a guy's choking another guy's head, you grab a guy's arm and he gives you nothing. I mean, you're supposed to give some kind of resistance, you know. And again, Robbie says he couldn't hear, and you know, and he was a very good class act about the whole thing. Because
he got up pissed, mad.
I think he realized that the situation.
And then, like, if you listen to him in the post-fight interview, he's like, "Man, this shit happens." Like, that's exactly what he said. He goes, "There's nothing I can do about it. This is the way it is. I'm not gonna go fight it with whoever." Commission.
Yeah, and they asked him, "Are you gonna try to do it?" He's like, "I don't deal with that. I have people who that might do that for me." The handler kind of
his handlers.
It's like it does not do with me.
Yeah, and like you know, him and Dana White both want the rematch, and Askren's like, "No, I did this."
And I agree. Askren's smart. He shouldn't.
He shouldn't.
we all want to see it as fans, but if you think about it,
If he's trying to work his way up to the belt, like
no, he's already passed that test. Why would he? Would you pass that test?
once you go to 0, you go to 1. You don't go back, right?
Yeah. You don't want to go back to 0. And the last thing he wants to do is get back in there with Lawler, who's gonna dump him on his phone.
I know that he took those hits. And was like, why here?
It's like, who's the next guy that doesn't hit hard? That's what I want to go against.
Right.
At least if I was him, that's what I'd be going against. But it's very interesting that 170 weight class now with him in there. It's very
especially after we talk about the next fight.
Yeah. And I would like to see, honestly, I'd like to see him fight Usman at some point, and then I'd like to see Robbie Lawler and Woodley fight again.
I would be
so we'll jump to the next fight. Usman versus Woodley. It's for the 170-pound title. Usman won a decision, but it wasn't just like any decision. It was like
a complete
5-round dominating. Like there was no good points ever for Woodley in that fight from the start to the beginning. And I thought that, I mean, it was like, is he drugged? Like, is he like half asleep? Like, did he get caught and has a concussion in the training camp? Like, just he seemed sluggish from the very beginning to the very end. There was
I noticed that too.
Points of where he ever like exploded.
There was no push.
Like he got mounted, he got taken down. Like there's so many things that has never happened to him before in fights that happened so easily and so many times. It was like, what the hell's going on?
You know what? I wonder if that's part of Woodley's thing is like, he's always dominated fights. He's always pushed the pace. Somebody finally pushed back and he was like, I don't like this.
Right.
And then just kind of tried to stay alive the rest of the time.
Yeah, just.
And like you've seen,
it didn't
you can
look
see
like he was
that
confident at the beginning. Like it looked like from the very beginning of the battle, like he was just not there. Just either didn't want to fight or he just wasn't confident he was going to win the fight. Just whatever it was, and I didn't realize Usman was so much fucking bigger than him. And once he got a hold of him down on top of him, I was like, wow, this is.
We
crazy.
hear Brendan Schaub on Rogan saying that Usman showed up to his show in
Looked
Florida.
just like him, yeah.
He's like, you're as big as me.
Which is, and that dude is a freak, man. And you could tell how strong he was once he got a hold of him and yanked him down.
Yeah.
It was, I felt bad. And it's crazy because Woodley's usually that guy that does that to people. He gets hold of people and drags them down. He's just so dominant and so powerful. But Usman was just a completely different level.
He said that this is what he was coming here for. And he's proved it.
Yeah.
And like, the way that he pushed Woodley around for, what was it, 2 8 rounds?
Yeah.
And just completely walked through the chambers. Like, who's going to touch him now?
That's very good. And, I mean, with his dominant wrestling, I mean, it'd be good to see him and Askren just because the wrestling aspect, but I think his stand-up is so much better that I don't think...
He would wrestle with him.
Yeah, I don't think that he'd have a chance to... Or Askren, I don't think he'd have the chance to get a hold of him. If he hit him like Robbie did, I think Usman would just put it on him because he's such an athlete. He's younger, and he's hungry. You saw how hungry this kid is. And, came in with the Nigerian flag.
Because I believe he's 31 or 2. Yeah, so he's still young.
He's right in his prime of his career. You can tell he's in the best shape of his life, too. And there was no slowdown. There was no getting tired, nothing with this guy.
Then we got the Kobe Covington.
Did you see the fight where they got into it afterward?
Which one do you want to point out first?
The one.
You want to see where he almost got in a fight with
at the fight?
Woodley's mom?
Oh, did he get
in the stands? And Dana was like, "All right, let's take you back to the back now."
Colby almost got into it with Woodley's mom.
Yes.
Oh,
talking shit.
No, I just seen that Usman and his manager Ali found
breakfast in the next morning.
Yeah, they went.
Dude, this Colby guy, like, I will agree with Asker now. Like, everybody hates you. Go away.
Exactly, dude. And it was so fake, and like I love the fact that how fake and cheesy it comes off. Like he tries to be like
Chael Sonnen,
Conor McGregor. Yeah, but
it's like you're just the biggest douchebag in the
and you can tell it's so fake, and he's just trying so freaking hard. Like, oh my god, he's standing with his belt, smiling, like, dude, like you're probably get your ass kicked. Unfortunately, like you're a tough kid, like you beat up some good guys, but I think you're barking up the wrong tree. I want to see Damian Maia.
Okay.
I know he beat Damian Maia, but honestly, I thought that belt was fake. I didn't know he had an interim title. I didn't realize I forget that they have 27 interim titles for
right.
weight classes. So, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Again, Woodley was not the same guy I thought he would be.
It was kind of disappointing because like there just wasn't the fight. There wasn't the competition.
No, there was no back and forth. That was the worst. It was just one guy getting just
Mauled for 5
manhandled.
rounds.
And it was weird to see because honestly, like you've seen that.
You've never seen the champ lose like that.
Yeah, you've seen the champ do that to people. Like we've seen George St. Pierre do that to people. Like we've seen champs do that before, but we've never seen anybody come out and do that to the champ. And
Right.
Not like maybe the champ gets tired of the 3rd round, he beat a 4th, 5th round, and start dominating, but never from the very beginning bell
start
to
to
the very
finish.
end bell. Like there was nothing that he even tried to do or could even like get any offense off. It was so weird. Again, I don't know. I've seen people too on Facebook saying like maybe it's staff or maybe he just was mentally drained and just sick of all the bullshit.
You know he's got all the
Maybe
other stuff going on. It's just
And I know that I think it was Brendan Schaub said like while Woodley was out there making records and making songs, Usman was
working
in the
on
gym.
ESPN, working on Fox.
Yeah, and Usman's in the gym. That's all he does. Woodley has all these other distractions, and all Usman has is where's my belt.
Right.
That's all he was thinking about. The whole time pushing. That's all he's been thinking about for the last 10 years or whatever.
Since Zimbabwe?
Yeah, since
Yeah. Is that where he's from?
Somewhere, Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
But yeah, because he had the Nigerian flag on his face, which was so fucking intimidating, dude. That was so gangster.
Francis is from Zimbabwe.
Yeah, Francis. Yeah, he was in the salt mines or sand mines.
Yeah.
Again, so Usman, whoever comes up for that guy next, they better be ready, man.
Which I
They
think we
better be
both
ready.
got that one wrong.
What's that? Usman.
When we called
Woodley?
it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we called Woodley. Which again, that's why I was so blown away about how just dominant from the very beginning to the very end. There's no. It's just so weird to see a champ not get any offense off, not just catch one punch where he kind of rocked him something, which is
Right.
There's nothing there.
Total disappointment.
So yeah, if you're ready, if the next guy for Usman, I'm excited to see who it's gonna be, but they gotta be ready. And I'm sure he put fear in a lot of men's hearts at that 70-pound division. Like,
Right.
wow. Like, cause I know a lot of guys are worried about Woodley. So imagine now a guy that dominated Woodley completely. Like, imagine what those guys are thinking. I like to see maybe him against Wonder Boy. Maybe even Kobe.
Because Wonder Boy's got to fight with Pettis coming up soon.
At 70.
I believe it's at
Pettis is
70.
coming to 70.
Pettis is coming to 70.
Poor
He's
kid.
coming from 45.
Yeah, 45, 50. Yeah, he was at 55 for his last fight. But he got beat up really bad in his last
Oh,
fight.
because that was
too.
against Ferguson.
Yeah, Ferguson beat him up pretty good. Ferguson tooled him up.
Yeah.
I think Pettis said he broke his hand right away or something, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was going into the 3rd round he broke his
He broke his
hand.
hand, yeah. But
So they
he was
called
still
it.
getting beat up before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was broke. Oh, yeah, that's right, because they were like, "Are you able to fight this guy?" And honestly, if I remember correctly, Duke Rufus was the one who told him like, "I'm not gonna let you go back out there."
So it's like, if your hand's broke, you're not going back
Yeah,
up.
because
you
got to have both hands to beat this guy.
Yeah.
And he was completely right, that's great to see a coach take the step and be like, no, like I'm gonna step above you. There's one step on your coach. I believe that I know what's best for you, even if you don't. Think
Yeah,
it's what's
let's
best
live to fight another day.
and that's totally. And now he's got a good fight with Wonderboy, and hopefully he holds his hand well, and that'll be a good stand up karate stylistic fight. Where they'll kind of be doing the same kind of thing. So again, Usman. Hopefully he goes against maybe someone Kobe. Hopefully maybe Askren. I think Askren probably have to have 1 or 2 more fights before he gets that chance. Just because Dana's probably gonna.
I think because during the interview, Askren was like, I already bought my ticket to Liverpool. You're going to call out
Darren Till.
Darren Till.
Yeah, I heard that too. But I think Till has a fight already coming up, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's in like 2 weeks.
Against that, is it that other black guy, isn't it? It's a black guy from Leon something?
It's another guy
Because I just seen them arguing about who's the best in England or whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't remember the black guy's name.
Because then Askren was talking to Michael Bisping during the post interview saying, I got my fight to Liverpool, you better make me breakfast when I get there.
That's right. They're
And
going to
Bisping's like,
yeah.
I live in California, man. He's like, oh, your other house. He's like, I don't have a house.
Yeah. I didn't believe that. I didn't know that Askren played disc golf, and he was like number 2 in the country.
I saw that too, actually, yeah.
And I was watching some highlights of him. I was like, damn, he's really good.
Yeah,
I
see,
played some
that's
disc
something
golf,
I've never been able to get into.
I played it quite a bit, but
I tried to regular golf like once or twice. It just ends up with packing my bags full of beer and driving around on the golf carts.
So we'll get to the main event then for that night. John Jones.
Another
Anthony
controversy
Smith.
fight.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah, there was a couple fouls that John did, but
I mean, other than that, it was a complete another dominance fight.
yeah, and I mean Smith held in there, but again he just
You really got to, like Jones said at the end of the post-fight interview in the cage, you got to see how durable Smith was.
right. And you got to see that veteran in almost 70 fights, you know, and being able to be in those tough situations and not panic or give up or, you know, find
and like
an easy way out. You know, like a lot of
watching the
guys have.
post-fight interview, like conference, like you could just see how frustrated he was.
Yeah.
See, because his refs were yelling at him, like, you can see everything he's doing because, like, it's things that they went over for the 9-week camp. And he's just like, I don't know what I did wrong. I couldn't see where he was, when he was, how he was. And
Yeah,
you could just tell that he...
stage fright and kind of got starstruck in a way. You know, it might not have been definitely like a starstruck, but, you know, that feeling of like, I want to go, but I can't.
Yeah.
It comes back to Mike Perry, right?
Yeah.
But they're telling me to go. I'm telling me to go, but I just something in me's just holding it back.
Can't
I
go.
And you definitely seen that happen to Anthony Smith, and it sucks, but he'll fight his way back. I think
Yeah.
he'll come
Because he's
back.
still in that top 5. Because, honestly,
He's
I'd
still
put
a
him
good
at
guy.
2.
Yeah, I'd put
Just
him at
because
I'd put him at 3.
who
just
else
because
is there?
Gustafson, but
I would love to see that fight.
him and
Smith and
Gustafson, that's what I
Gustafson.
think. Yeah, they're both coming off losses to Jones. I mean, give Smith maybe 2 months, you know, and then come back, you know, in that 3rd month fight Gustafson.
Yeah. Because
That'd
I
be a great fight.
believe Smith or Gustafson's already got something scheduled, though, against Teixeira.
Didn't he already beat Teixeira? He beat him up really bad.
He did beat
Yeah, I
him
thought
up
he knocked him out
really
really bad, like really early in the fight.
So maybe Teixeira's got something scheduled against
Maybe
somebody else.
Teixeira.
I've been listening to like 6 different podcasts trying to remember them all now.
Yeah. It's hard. There's so many fights coming up too, and we're trying to get back into all these, so it's hard. But I think big takes I take out of that fight is Anthony Smith is durable as hell. He 100% deserved to be where he was at, whether he mentally, you know, just kind of didn't show up or whatever, or he got starstruck, whatever it is. He still definitely deserved to be there, and he earned his way up there. And again, he didn't get knocked out 20 seconds in the fight. You know, he didn't get knocked out, choked out, like a lot of very good guys have from John Jones. You know,
Right.
the whole 5 rounds, he showed his durability. I mean, he got cut pretty bad at one point over his nose, and, you know,
Yeah, he looked
didn't even
rough.
phase him. You know, like he kept like.
Because honestly, I did miss the end of the round. I think we left in like the 2nd or 3rd round because I had to grab a cab.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I didn't get to see most of it, but I watched the post-fight interviews and a couple highlights. And
Yeah, and just, again, it was just John using that length and being smart and knowing when to pick his leg or his head or where to kick, you know, and just, it was just, you just see the brilliance that is John Jones. And the thing that I picked up the most, and John Jones even admitted it to himself, and I think it was a little bit due to maybe not enough steroids in his system, is he said he got tired in the 5th round. And he said that he doesn't usually get tired in that 5th round like that. That was weird for him. And
Right.
when he said that, I was like, I wonder why you're getting tired all of a sudden in the 5th round.
Right.
You know, like, and it wasn't like it was some of his other brawls, like when he went against Daniel Cormier, you know, it wasn't like a back and forth brawl. Like, he pretty much had the
push the pace the whole time.
You know, yeah,
You know,
at
maybe
his
it
pace.
was just from pushing the pace the whole time.
It could have been,
You know?
but I don't know. I seen the weakness in John Jones too in that 5th round, and in the very beginning of the fight, he came out and he kind of was just throwing like reckless, like you never really see him do. And I think he thought he could finish Smith right away, and once he realized like, it's not-
Sorry, you can't
he
do
got
that.
hot, yeah, he kind of slowed down and was like, okay, let's be a little more methodical and sit back on our punches and figure out where we're gonna go from here. And that's when he really started kind of picking him apart on body kicks and leg kicks, and all of a sudden he kicked him in the head out of nowhere, you know, like he was just mixing up very well, and he was doing very good at keeping his cage. At one point though, Anthony Smith's on his back, and John Jones was like, he tried to kick him in the face, and, you know, kicking him just.
I believe that was in the 2nd round.
Second
Was the
round.
legal kick to the face, which
They didn't do anything.
The ref
say anything
didn't call
about it
that one.
because it just caught the hand.
yeah,
But then later, I want to say the
4th round.
Was the 4th
He
round?
caught the knee
Caught
when
with
he
the
was
knee
sitting
when
on
he's
his
down.
butt.
And everybody's just saying this too. And if you watch the fights, and Joe Rogan, everybody says it is just hats off to Anthony Smith for not figuring out the easy way. You know, he
Yeah.
got deliberately kneed in the head on the ground. He could have definitely took it easy.
See, I've heard the opposite. I was listening to Bisping and I can't remember his
Dominic
guy.
Cruz?
No, it's his podcast.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Look at me now. Or what?
That's me. That's this one. That's good though.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't remember the name of his podcast, but he was like, "Stay down," like in Rocky. When
Oh.
Rocky fucking jumps, he's just like, "Stay down." You had your chance at the championship. You had your rematch. You had your way to the pay-per-view buys. Like, you had your dream.
Yeah.
You had your fucking money train coming. Which, like, thank God he did it because we all don't want to be that guy. But at the same point, it's like,
Sometimes you could.
if you could have been that guy,
Yeah. I
like,
guess.
truth
I
be
mean,
told, would you have been that guy? No.
Maybe, but I don't know. And it just shows to him.
Yeah.
that's what his goal was. He wasn't there to get the easy way out or any of that. He was there to try to beat John Jones. And even though he was in over his head and he knew at that point there was no quit in that guy and there was no reason for him to be like, no, this is what I signed out for. I'm going to go till the end. Until he either knocks me out, chokes me out, or, the bell rings, like I'm going to go. And so that was very good to see him. Again, that just goes to the test of who he is as a fighter.
Yeah. Definitely.
Shows
Hats off.
He came for the belt. He didn't come just to be in a ring with John Jones. He came for the belt to finish.
He wanted to win and not give it to him.
And if he would have came just to be in the fight, with John Jones and not actually get that belt, he probably would have took the easy way out. It would have just been like, I already accomplished my goal. I got in here. John Jones, I'm done. DQ him, give him my belt. But he was like, no, I came here for that belt. I didn't come here to fight John Jones. I came here to win that belt. Right. And so that's a really good testament to him. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens next for him. Of course, John Jones is going to get whoever the hell he wants. If he wants to go to heavyweight or to stay at 205, he'll get whoever.
Well, I've heard that they promised DC Lesnar.
They gave DC Lesnar.
Yes.
Okay.
Which.
So then let's do John Jones versus Stipe.
Stipe. Yeah. That's the talk.
Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. That's at least the talk from all the podcasts I've been listening to.
Yep. And I know that Stipe was asking why he couldn't get his rematch with DC, and DC said he hadn't earned it yet. And so.
You mean from being the most winningest heavyweight champion?
Apparently he hasn't won his way back to the championship.
Oh, because he hasn't fought since then.
He hasn't fought since. So.
But, that's kind of a dick thing from DC, I believe.
I think DC's just trying to get money fights.
Yeah, because he just wants that one last fight.
He's supposed to be retired on Salmon, or he was supposed to retire a few weeks ago, but he didn't on his 40th birthday.
I think he's pushing for that one last money fight.
And DC would, I don't think Stipe would be it. I think that DC versus Lesnar would definitely be that fight.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one to throw out there and just see what the hell happens, because that's a fucking freak show fight. Whatever you have everyone rocking there, it's a freak show fight. So, that's a good one. Again, John Jones obviously came out and showed the brilliance of what is John Jones, and
you kind of did see like a turn of a veteran in him,
Yep. And you could tell that he's kind of getting older and mature, and whether he likes to party or what, but at least in the cage he's kind of
because he did leave the post press conference and sorry guys, I gotta get to an after party.
Did he?
Yeah,
but I bet you that after party probably paid him a bunch of money.
Oh, definitely.
Because I know Woodley was pissed off that he didn't get to some of his.
From USADA.
Yeah.
Lost $10,000.
Yeah.
Because it was Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, they just were showing at one spot. So I'm sure John Jones, he probably got $50,000 or something from some fucking place,
Yeah.
I'm sure he got bank, and so you're not gonna miss out on more money for talk to some fucking idiots
reporters,
the same damn questions,
What about the picograms?
Right, and he's just there to don't get fined, he's pulling Martian on the
right.
Just here, so I don't get fined. I'm going to my after party, So again, hopefully Smith gets Gustafson. That's what I'd like to see next, or Glover, one of those two guys. I don't care about anybody else. I know that there's some other guys coming up right now.
Maybe that's what they were talking about, is setting up Smith and Glover.
Yeah.
That does sound more familiar.
Johnny Walker, but I don't think Johnny Walker's.
I want to see Johnny Walker get one more before he runs into that top 5.
Exactly. I just don't think he's there yet, and I think he needs somebody that's
gonna push him into. I want to see
him go to
rounds.
second or third round. That's exactly what I think too. Yeah. So we're on the same page about that.
Definitely, but he is on his way to the top, I believe. Right. He's just got to be patient.
Yeah.
Hopefully the UFC doesn't throw him to the wolves right away.
Yeah, and they could, but at the same time, I think they know.
I feel like they should have learned from that mistake already.
They've done it enough, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they see the potential in this Johnny Walker too, and hopefully they'll get him a good.
He's fun. He's exciting. He's crazy.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get him another good fight, and then give him that step up fight, and another fight where someone's gonna push him. Again, I might have to go back to that 205 and look at the top 10 guys, and from 6 to 10, and see who I think he could probably fight, and he might even get a top 5 guy, depending on who's in that rankings right now.
Yeah.
A big fight that I heard about, I guess it's just kind of off topic, still talking about Jones, is Anthony Smith, or not Anthony Smith, but Anthony Rumble Johnson, said that he wants John Jones a heavyweight, which is like the one fight that everybody said that they wish they would have saw back in the day.
Because that's the one that's supposed to happen right before Jones got in a car accident.
Yeah, a bunch of shit happened.
Cocaine.
Because
which
Rumble
one?
Which one of the stories? Yeah, but Rumble beat.
DC.
No, he beat Glover. He beat Gustafson. Like he beat a lot of good guys. He was right up in the mix. And
those 3 were like
he lost to DC.
Any one of them could have been a champion at any time. I guess besides John.
Yeah,
Nobody
Jones
would
is
think
out
about
at the time, I guess. In that
Yeah.
one, but that's a good fight I'd like to see too. I'm gonna check time quick and then we'll get into the next fights.
it. Alright.
Perfect. All right. All right, there you go. So we just kind of pause for a second just to make sure time and the battery's not running out. We've had that, unfortunately, the last podcast with Dak, so we're just going to try to make better habits of not doing that. So,
Right.
Until we get our
Camera set up.
cameras and our computer, and we'll have a bit more battery. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to jump into
This weekend's fights.
This weekend's fights, yep. Of fight night, Derek Lewis versus
Junior Dos Santos.
which is a crazy fight. Dos Santos is still fighting. Like, again, we'll go through the main card. We'll get back into that, but that's a super exciting fight.
It's kind of like it's like Cain Velasquez fight. Like, kind of scared to watch.
Kind of.
I have a fight that I'm really scared about that we'll talk about at the end of all
Okay,
this.
yeah, we'll talk about it.
Alright, let's start with the prelims.
Yeah.
Most of these guys are from around here.
Yeah, it's weird. You actually took off.
We'll talk about it still,
Yeah,
but-
no, you're fine. Yep. But yeah, a lot of guys, and two specifically train under the same group that we do at Start BJJ,
Yes.
and
One of them is the owner of the Minnesota.
is part owners with Brock, and again, Brock is one of our main professors that comes down and teaches us, and he's the one that actually black belted our coach now, who's going to be a professor, obviously, once he gets professor stripes, but Dan.
It's just a matter of time.
So it's really a small world for this card because we have been on the same exact mats.
It's a Midwest card.
Yeah,
Wichita?
and two of the guys, or three of the guys, for me at least, I've been in the same mats with. I fought the same card as Dan Moret a few times. Obviously, when we went up to that seminar.
These are guys that we've been in the room
Martin
with.
were
Like,
both
I've been in the
there.
locker room with Zach Otto and Anthony Martin.
Yep.
I'm sure Maurice has been in there a time or two.
I'm sure.
But I've seen him at tournaments. We all saw him at the
The seminar.
seminar. Yep.
Yeah, and he's a big fucking dude. I didn't realize he was so fucking big.
Right?
When I seen him, I was like, damn, that dude crochets. Like, he's awfully big to crochet. But, yeah, he's a crochet boss, and so that's a good fight. So Maurice Green is fighting Jeff Hughes, and from what I understand, I didn't really see the Ultimate Fighter heavyweights for the last one, but from what I understand, is Jeff Hughes actually beat Maurice on the show. So it's going to be a rematch, and so it's
That's
a little
exciting.
it's a little bit of revenge for Maurice.
Because Maurice is coming off a win from what I saw. Didn't get his record down. But we got him for the rest of them. Okay,
And
guys?
the thing is, too, is I know that Maurice is training regularly. I have him on my Facebook. I have Brock on my Facebook.
Yep.
And I know that he's always in there, and he's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Like, I think he's very, very recent to actually starting fighting and kind of being into this. I mean, maybe 2 years or something. So there's a really big future for this guy. And from what I hear, is he puts it on people in the gym, and so it's very
So it should be
exciting to
exciting.
actually see his fight, and see him get out there. And again, I didn't get to see him fight on the show, but from what I hear, I always hear very good things, especially from Brock. And again, hopefully, since we're so close in this Start BJJ thing, hopefully we get Maurice on here at some point, and we can have him talk and get to actually know him a little bit better. Because again, I've only met him a few times, and the most I met him, I talked to him for maybe 5 minutes at the seminar. that day.
Every time I've been so nervous to talk to these guys.
Yeah, and same with Tony Martin. When I met him, it was just the same thing. Like, hey, Tony, thank you for having us. It's awesome to meet you.
So the first time I met him, he was in the locker room. I was just like, hi.
Nice to meet you.
Like, I've met Brock a few times before that, so like I was used to him, and then I saw him, I was like, eh.
Yeah,
You know?
I get the same way too. And like we were at the seminar, his wife Kayla Harris, and was there, and that's how I was. I was like, oh shit. So I gotta say hi though. So Alice was like, hey.
See, I'm too shy.
And I think she didn't even realize that I was like talking to her who she was. I think she was just like, because she was just in street clothes. So I think she was like, hey, how are you? Just being nice, And I was like, hi. Same thing, like you were like, hey, how are you today? Like, oh shit. They're all in the same room. Like this girl won fucking medal. And she gold.
The only gold
in the
medalist
Olympics. Yeah.
in judo.
And
American.
imagine how bad she'd beat the hell out of us.
Hey.
That's scary.
I'll put that
Yeah, we'll talk about that off. But hopefully we're supposed to be having a seminar here with her
Really?
at some point.
Here?
Yeah, here. She's supposed to be coming down. Just kind of working out, but I think they just had a kid recently, so
Yeah.
I think they're kind of working through all
Because that baby
stuff.
looked pretty young.
Yeah,
When we were
maybe
up
6
there.
months or even less. But I don't really know much about Jeff Hughes. Again, I don't want to know much about Maurice. I seen him on the mat that one day, just kind of training and going through the seminar. And again, I hear great things from Brock. So my pick is definitely gonna be Maurice. Just
Yeah.
that's our guy. That comes close to us. So hopefully Maurice puts him out pretty quick, or gets him in a good triangle. I hear he's pretty good triangle choke. So we'll go for Maurice Green with the triangle is my guess. So, the next fight for this.
Take a swing at that.
I can't even read it.
I'd say Yana Kunichinava.
Yeah, there you go.
Close enough?
Sure.
Um,
We'll take it on. Beat up this next name too.
Marian Reino.
Reno. Okay.
Yeah, give us all these foreign.
Yeah. Good luck with that one.
I'm gonna pick Yana
Yep. Okay.
because I believe I've seen her fight a couple times. She's a 135er.
Is she the blonde? I wouldn't say
She's
she's
the blonde.
Is she blonde?
Yes. And I want to believe she's coming off a win. So this is going to be a good matchup, working into that top 5 ranking, kind of.
135 is a very interesting for girls as well. It's a very interesting weight class. The champ right now is a beast. I don't know who's going to beat her.
Be Amanda. Yeah, double champ.
Yeah, who's going to... I don't know who's going to beat her.
Good luck. Never mind. You should all just quit.
Yeah,
go home.
Take
Take your
girls. It's scary. Good luck. More power to you.
Right?
Yeah. Again, I don't know a lot about these two, but I'll go with. I'll just pick the other girl, Marino. She's number 6, so why not? Similar records, 11-4, 9-4. So I mean, they both been in.
Yeah, right, neck and neck.
So yeah, I'll go. I'll go against you this one.
And the one that I took off before we talk about Tony and
Damerat.
Well, then 2, I guess. We got the Damerat and Alex
White?
Smith. White?
Alec White, right?
Yep,
Alex
that's
White,
correct.
Yep.
And I guess you take Dan.
Dan Barrett is just a guy I know. I mean,
Seen
on
around
the
and stuff.
circuit here, I want to say he was 20-0 as an amateur. He is from Mankato, went to school in Mankato. I know, I have a really good buddy of mine, actually went and trained with him quite often down there in Mankato when he was going to school in Mankato. When he was at Mankato, that was like the heydays of Mankato, and then Mankato kind of started falling off, and he went up to the academy. Had a very good success at the academy, and was probably one of the top guys around here. He got his shot at, I want to say it was like RFA or LFA. I'm not sure if it was still RFA back then, but he found a guy that's actually in the UFC doing very well right now. Luke Sanders, I think is his name. And he ended up losing, but then after that, I think he just realized that the training he was getting here in Minnesota just wasn't as top notch for what he wanted to. And so I'm not sure if he went anywhere between this, but I know he might have been at Alliance in California for a little while. I think he was at Alliance, and then some of the guys from Alliance split and went down to Arizona, and now they have the MMA lab in Arizona, and I believe that's where Ryan Bader is. Johnny Case is down there, so they've got some really good guys down there. And he's had some mixed results. It's a 155.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they've had some mixed results. You know, he has becoming a pro. I think he's been very successful, though, in the UFC so far. I mean, he lost his last fight. But I know he did get knocked out not too long ago. But I think that was even before his UFC stint. So sounds like he's kind of picked it up. And I don't know much about Alex White, but I just know Dan Moret. I've been on a bunch of fight cards with him. I've met him personally. I know a lot of friends that know him. So once I see his name, I always kind of read up on that. It's kind of as being personal to me.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to take Dan Moret. Hopefully, probably 3-round decision. Just knowing the kind of style and the guys that he's kind of been fighting lately. I think they're all pretty close. But hopefully, Dan can get that dominance, and he's always been a pretty good wrestler. So hopefully that'll
work out for him.
Yeah, pick it up. I'm guessing at MMA lab they're working his ass off, so I'm sure all the skills are picking up as well. So
he's on a good team over there.
Yeah, so good things hopefully coming for Dan Moret. Again, just being a Minnesota boy, and, one of us, and not just like a Minnesota boy, just kind of close to home.
Hometown kid.
So it's good to see him out there and finally making it again. Again, because he had such a successful amateur career, but I think he realized again that he needs to just step up his game, and this gym out there is definitely where he should be, and if not, maybe another top level gym besides that even.
Right.
But he definitely has a lot of good things coming for him, so I'm gonna go Dan Moret for a 3-round decision.
I'll take him too.
Might as well talk you into it. So the next card is super important to us because it's one of the ones that kind of touch home because our coach Brock or our professor Brock that comes down and teaches us and gave our coach of his black belt actually was gonna quit and didn't know where to go. Yeah, he didn't know what to do. He didn't have a gym at the time. He had some fallouts with some of the other gyms and stuff. And again, I'm gonna get Brock on here. We're gonna get his whole story because he's got a great story. Which that'll probably have to be 2 or 3 podcasts on its own, just because the man can talk.
Let's do each part of his
his life
career.
growing up. Yeah, but Tony Martin actually was the one that just kind of told Brock like, no, you're way too good at this. Like, you're my.
This is when he was already down in Coconut Beach, right?
Yep. He was already down in Florida, or he might have even been at Boston this time with Sit-On Q or whatever gym that is there. But he was training there with Mark Delgrati for a little while too. So it might have been in the transition period because I know he's been to Boston and Florida as well, back and forth. But but he just basically told Brock like, no, you're too good. Like, you're my best. You're the coach that got me here. You're the reason why I was.
Which is always exciting because I love seeing Brock in the corner. You know,
it's amazing. Yeah, and that guy, like, I roll with him. He picks me for the fucking guy. You've had it too, where he picks you for the seminars, and he's never nice, but he's always nice. Like, he's being mean, but at the same time, he's like roughing you up because he loves you so much. Yeah. And so this fight,
Which, hey, let's just preach on it for a minute longer, because he competed at the tournament this weekend.
Yeah, he did.
And it was like, I was like watching one of our kids while he was going, and I was like trying so hard to focus on the match right in front of me, but I was like, I want to see that one so bad, because it was cool.
It's funny though, because
finished the guy in an armbar.
He finished that guy. But the second guy, I don't remember the goddamn guy's name, but I want to say he's like a 4-stripe white belt or something, but he was the one that kind of was frustrated. Brock wouldn't really like engage.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Wrestle. And that's the guy he actually caught in the no-gi baseball bat choke, right? Isn't that what he caught him in?
See, the one I saw...
One was a big white guy, then one was the black guy with the beard.
That's the one I saw.
One of them he won with the armor, or with Kimura, and the other one he won with like a sit-in baseball bat choke, a no-gi baseball bat choke. It's sick, dude. I'll show it to you. I'll show you the video. But I've caught it like 6 times since. I caught it twice tonight. Yeah. Like, it works so perfect. And I remember him teaching us it, but it was one of those ones where I'm just going to show it to you.
There's a million things he teaches in a class.
Exactly. He's like, I'm just going to kind of show you this one, but this is kind of a setup to this. And I'm like, oh, so we're going for that, actually. Okay. But then I seen him do it, and I was like, oh, that looks so mean. I'm gonna try that shit, and it's worked so far.
We should get back to the card though.
Anthony Martin though. Again, he's really close.
That's the guy we want to win this one.
Yeah, and Sergio Moraes is definitely a good guy. Good fights in the UFC, but I don't know. I think Tony Martin is being
he's on like a 4 or 5 fight win streak.
Moraes?
No. Martin. I don't know about Moraes.
Yeah, because Martin lost his last fight. Yeah, then he's won 3 or 4 in a row in the UFC now.
Yeah, so he's working his way up, and like it's just exciting to see somebody that's so close to Origin.
And honestly, if it wasn't for Tony right now, Brock wouldn't be here to be a part of our gym, to be growing our system the way it is, and to legitimize us. So
kudos to Anthony Martin.
Yeah, so we all love Anthony Martin just without him even really knowing it,
Right.
And I'm sure that a lot of the gyms here that I think there's 4 gyms here in Minnesota that are under the Start banner now.
Because Brainerd St. Cloud, there's one in the cities and us.
Yeah. So we all owe it to Tony Martin, because it wasn't for him get Brock back and being able to get Brock affiliated with Start and Professor
Alexander too.
Yeah, there's a bunch, which is crazy that Brock is associated with all those gyms, and at one point he wasn't going to be here, but again, thanks to Tony Martin. If you do see this, probably won't, but thank you very much. It's awesome. We appreciate it so much.
Let us feel special.
Yeah. So again, we're gonna go with Anthony. I'm gonna go with Anthony by 2nd round submission. I'm gonna go Kimura just because that's Brock's favorite move. You're gonna go knockout. He's got pretty good hands too.
Last fight, I think it was a head kick.
The head kick, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll go Kimura. You go knockout. I'm gonna go 2nd round Kimura. So we'll see. So main card then. We start from the top to the bottom then? That's how it's
bottom to top.
Yeah. When I say top to bottom, I'm fucking dyslexic.
You went bottom to top. Or you went top to bottom.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. So the
sign language, y'all.
The first card we're going to cover, the first card we'll cover on the main card is Tim Boach versus, you got the last name, Omiri
Akadovag.
Yeah, fuck, I have no idea.
Can we
I'm going with Tim Boach. We're going to kind of skip past this fight just because I want to get to some of the other ones. But Tim Boach is definitely
been in this
a good fighter. Yeah, And the guy is freakishly strong. I know he fought a guy back in the day.
This is light heavyweight?
Yeah,
mentioned?
205.
Okay.
And he tossed this poor guy on his face. Literally just shoved him down. Like, it would be like a grown adult shoving a little kid, it looked like. And then his last fight was against Yushin Okami.
Those are my favorite matches in the gym when I wrestle with the little kids.
Yeah, you feel so much better. But his last fight, Tim Bosch's, was against Yushin Okami, and he was losing. I'm pretty sure he got dropped at one point, even in the fight. And then he came back and just beat the brakes off of poor Yushin Okami, which is great to see. Tim has been around for a long time. He's one of those guys that kind of been in the mix of like top 15, maybe made it like top 8
kind of
or
in that
something.
65 range.
Yeah, but he never really made it past like the top, the real top 7, top 6, the elite guys. But he's always just been in there and just such a grinder.
Yeah.
So if I pick anybody again, I don't know anything about the other guy, but just from knowing Tim Bosch, I'm gonna pick Tim Bosch just because he's a guy that I like, and I kind of have a little bit of a history watching. So I've seen him in some brawls where he's won and some brawls where he's lost. So
he's always coming to fight.
yeah, he's always gonna come and show up to fight. I think his record's 21-12.
21-12, and the other guy's 16-4.
16-4. So yeah, I mean, so Bosch definitely has a lot more experience in the UFC, and he's gonna come in a little calmer. So
Yeah.
and hopefully to brawl those 205 weight class. Like we said, we need somebody to fight Johnny Walker. So hopefully maybe one of these guys, maybe these guys will be a good test, and they'll we'll put Johnny Walker on his butt maybe at some point and see what he does off his back. And Tim Bosch is definitely a guy who can take him down. Again, I don't know much about him really, but I'm guessing he's probably going to be a pretty tough guy as well. I'm guessing more of a wrestler with a name, probably Russian.
Yeah.
Again, I have no idea. So the next fight, again, we'll go Tim Bosch. Who are you going to go?
I would go with Tim Bosch.
Tim Bosch is again. Yeah, if I see the other guy, and he looks
I'm going to
scary,
go with the
I'll change
decision,
my
though.
mind. Yeah,
Just because, I
decision
feel like age is getting to some of these guys, and,
and he's a grinder, too. He's always been kind of a grinder. So
Power's the last to go, but
I think he'll grind him out.
I'll give this a decision win for Bosch.
If Bosch loses, I think he'll lose probably by TKO. That's just my guess. And again, I have no idea who the other guy is, but I'll just throw that out there just to act like I know stuff. The next fight, I know.
Yeah,
Fake it,
make it? Yeah.
We're faking it for sure. Is Blegov Ivanov, I believe that's how you say it, for Ben Rothwell. And
Which he's coming off a 2-year suspension, I believe.
Ivanov for.
Oh, Ben Rothwell.
Ben Rothwell is?
This is his first fight back, is what I was
from steroids, right?
I'm sure.
Yeah, some kind of
Sure,
steroid, I believe. And I remember, if I remember correctly, I think he was one of the guys that was like talking crap about guys doing steroids and then got busted for steroids.
Yeah, but I think it was one of the. Maybe it isn't 2 years. Maybe it's. I know he's coming off a suspension. I don't know exactly what it's for or why. That's something that we could look into for the post fight.
Yep, and I believe it was something for steroids or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember, he was having some pretty good success too before that happened.
Yeah, because I remember him running through guys and just.
And I remember he had some weird, freaking awkward post-fight interview where he had some stupid laugh. You can look it up; it's so stupid. But he was saying
I recall it.
He was saying something like he's the dark horse or something, and the dark horse will rise. And he made some. It was total professional wrestling if it was in your backyard.
Right.
It was horrible, but.
So you mean not professional backyard wrestling?
Yeah. It was trying to be professional wrestling, but it was if you're in the trailer park. So, I know a lot about Ivanov. I know he's a very tough wrestler, very good getting on top. I don't think he's had very good success in the UFC so far. I think he's had some tough fights, but I think this will be a good even match for them, and it's both heavyweights, so
yeah.
Obviously heavyweights are always fun to watch.
Watching bombs go.
Yeah, so if I'm gonna pick anyone, I'm gonna pick Ivanov by decision.
Just because I hope Rothwell as well. I'm gonna go knockout in the second round.
From Rothwell. Rothwell's gonna win.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got good.
He's
punches.
got that power.
He's
He did.
Put a lot of people out.
Hopefully he's been training hard.
He's from Milwaukee.
I was gonna say he's from around here.
But I think he has his own gym. I think he's a different gym separate from Rufus and that Pure Vita as well. Yeah. Okay. So maybe he's in a different town. Maybe he's in a Madison or something. But I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's a Wisconsin.
So I remember talking to one of his cousins or something one time. Yeah. And I think it was actually up north. Yeah, she was from
that. Makes sense. Yeah, he seems like an up north kind of guy.
Right.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
That's a good fight to see. Yeah. Oh Jesus! Yeah, if you're not from the Midwest, it's a little weird up here, especially up north. We get a little Canadian. It's a little weird. Next fight, Tim Means versus
Nico
Price.
Price.
Which I've been hearing a lot of good things about Nico Price.
Yeah, and Tim Means is just one of those guys that's been around forever.
He's a very durable, the dirty bird. They call him that just because he loves to grind. He's not afraid to get in there and, bleed. He throws really good elbows. He's like a Matt Brown, but I just don't think he was as dominant or as effective.
Still kind of in that 12 to 17 range.
Yeah,
Always
exactly.
right outside the top 10.
And as to where Matt Brown kind of was able to put the pieces together a little
Yeah,
bit better.
get into that
I feel
top
like he just
3.
hasn't been able to put those pieces together. Maybe
What,
just
38
bad
fights?
Yeah, 28-10. Yeah, that's a lot of fights. And Nico's 12-2. So I mean, and it's a good fight at 170. I know Tim Means looked horrible at 55. It just one of
Just
those
wasn't
guys
his
that
place
looks
to
like a
be.
skeleton. They just don't look.
Yeah,
right.
I know those guys.
And yeah, you've been one of those guys. So it's just unfortunate. But I'm just glad that he's back up to 170. And unfortunately, I think this Nico Price, from what I've been hearing, is just going to be a little too much for him.
Yeah.
It sounds like this Nico Price is on his way up. And unfortunately, Tim Means has been around for a while, and he might be on his way out. You can't really.
I
take
mean,
that many-
he is the co-main event.
He is, yeah. But again, this Nico Price, I mean, that's.
They're just trying to showboat him.
I
maybe?
unfortunately think yes,
Okay.
it's more for Nico than it is Tim. But again, I mean, there's been a million guys that have been that guy that
Like that veteran can still have it.
and
Diego?
Diego's a perfect example. Yeah, that's a perfect example that just happened too. Is you never know with these old guys.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull some tricks out of their sleeves.
Some
Nico might never
veteranness
see.
is always good.
Yeah, and Tim Means is definitely dangerous. He's got good elbows, a good clinch. He's been very dangerous. I've seen him cut up a lot of guys, so it's a very good fight. But if I had to pick, just with what I've heard, I'm gonna go with Nico Price.
Okay.
Probably a 3-round decision.
I'm gonna go with the veteran just because I'm always in the veteran mood.
Right.
Veteran. Oh, I like the old guys.
Yeah.
We'll go second round knockout.
Tim Means second round knockout. Okay,
Second
I'll go
round
Price
knockout.
by decision.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll get to the main event. Again, we're just kind of running through these, just
Quick.
throwing out what our ideas are, and then when we do the breakdown, we'll kind of see how close we were.
Give more detail.
Yeah, get a little more detail on everybody. But the next fight is something I think that we'll probably get into a little bit deeper, just because these are two guys that I think we both enjoy watching
Yes.
fight, and I think the majority of people enjoy watching fight as well.
Yeah.
Dos Santos definitely maybe a few years ago, more so than now.
When was his last fight?
I'm not even sure. I know he did have a suspension for steroids at one point.
Because
he had
the
some
last
crazy
thing that I
brawls.
remember him having scheduled that I can recall was him and Kane were supposed to fight last Christmas, not the one that just happened, but the one before, which was supposed to be.
Velasquez is a comeback.
Well, I don't know if it was come back then, but it was the fight that he had to have his back surgery,
Oh, okay.
which
Okay, yeah.
took him out for the year and a half or 2 or whatever it's been.
Yeah, I don't know. Dos Santos. I mean, I just remember his brawls like again with
Kane,
Kane and
everybody.
yeah. There's not a fight I can't think of that he didn't brawl or just come out and knock somebody out.
Yeah.
Bad thing is though, and I've heard it from a lot of like the fighters that talk about him, is that his body's just not where it used to be, and he's not firing off the same intensity or ferocity as he used to, and his body's not holding up like it was.
Yeah. Which, I mean, when you're fighting a guy like Derek Lewis, isn't always bad. Because, as long as your chin can hold up,
Yeah, and I mean
you don't have to push a hard pace as long as you push a pace.
Yep.
Because Derek Lewis doesn't have cardio.
No, he doesn't.
Unless he changed something in his last game.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I just think Dos Santos is on, again, just kind of like Tim Means in my opinion. I think he's just on his way out, and it sucks because he's had so many brawls, and it's hard to see if his chin's gonna hold up to those punches. And
Which,
Derek Lewis lands.
if
a
he
punch,
connects those, you're getting hit with a brick
Oh
to
yeah,
the
Dos
head.
Santos could definitely knock anybody out. It's still.
Oh, I meant Derek
Oh
Lewis.
yeah,
to Dos
yeah,
Santos.
Derek Lewis. Yep.
This could be a knockout either way.
Yeah.
Or this could be a Francis Ngannou
And
fight.
this is a fight that I definitely don't see going 3 rounds.
Nope.
And if it is, it's going to be a Ngannou Lewis fight, and I'll fucking throw a brick through my TV, I swear to God.
Well, we could also hope for the Lewis Alexander.
The guy from Bellator, the big tall guy from Bellator. Is that what you're talking about?
Lewis knocked out in like the last
very last
seconds of the
second,
third
yeah.
round,
Yeah.
which that's exciting.
That was a good fight too, and
Yeah.
it was kind of slow, but boom, the excitement at the end, yeah. But I feel like Dos Santos is gonna come out, he's gonna go after him like he always does. He's got really good boxing, but if Derek hits you, and again, Dos Santos.
And he can
is
take a beating
champion.
for 3 rounds.
Yeah, he can.
5 rounds? Main event?
It is 5 rounds. Yeah, I'm guessing it's 5 rounds for being the main event. But again, you've seen Derek Lewis, go with Daniel Cormier, and some of these guys that can push a pace, and he did very well up until he really kind of lost his stamina and kind of got wore out. But up to that point, he was doing pretty good. And again, then he got in a fight. I think was just a fluke. I think that was just one of those ones where 2 guys just got starstruck in front of each other and kind of got afraid of what the other one was going to do. And it's so weird to see that, especially so big, intimidating men, getting afraid of each other. Like it was crazy to see, but. I just feel like Dos Santos can come out and get a little too wild. And if he doesn't crack Lewis right away, Lewis is going to put him on his back. And I don't think Dos Santos, just unfortunately with how old he is and all the punishment he's taken, I just don't know if he'll have what it takes to recover and come back if he does get caught. So
Dos Santos first round. Anything after that, Derek Lewis?
I said Derek Lewis. Anything after that. And it's just with the amount of punches that Dos Santos has taken, and you've seen him get clipped, like when Kane clipped him and knocked him out. I mean, that was a pretty bad knockout.
Yeah.
So it's hard.
I mean, he's got to have something recent if he's still ranked number 8.
Yeah, but I mean, he went from number 2 or number 1 in the world to number 8.
Right.
And I mean, I know it's been a few years, but he hasn't had the fights of the Junior Dos Santos of old.
Right.
What people were talking about him. When he flew the kid from Brazil who had never been anywhere in his life, when the kid used to come to the gym, it's a long takeaway from the guy that was in that fight to the guy nowadays, and it's sad. But again, he's gone through steroid, allegations and stuff like that. He was suspended for it, so it's rough. And I was always a big Junior Dos Santos fan, but again, it's one of those guys I think he's just sticking around a little too long.
Right.
And unfortunately for him, he's from a place in Brazil where he probably didn't make enough money to live his whole entire life off of it, and he made probably good enough money, but not, I don't think, good enough to live for the rest of his life and support his kids or whatever he has going on. So I think that's why he's still kind of sticking around. It's unfortunate, but maybe he'll prove me wrong and I'll knock Derek Lewis out. But I definitely think Derek Lewis has this
fireworks?
I hope for fireworks. I hope one of them. I hope they go at it for the first 3 minutes and the fight in the last 3 minutes and 3 seconds. Put the fuck out. But I see Dos Santos coming out and getting a little too crazy and getting clipped by Derek Lewis, I think Derek Lewis is really coming into his own as a fighter and kind of really realizing what his potential is and what he really can do as a fighter.
Yeah. And we saw it when he went from kind of nobody a couple of years ago, just kind of the guy that talked on the mic funny, up into the championship fight, so. And
he definitely earned his way to the championship.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, like, oh, there's nobody else there, but there's nobody else there because he beat most of the guys.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. And he beat some guys in some dramatic fashion. Like
Definitely.
I said, he beat up that Russian guy from Brazil, or from the Russian guy from Brazil.
I think he was
from. Is he
German?
German? Is he
Or
German?
Swedish? Or
Whatever. He's
some
European. Yeah, whatever. So when he knocked that guy out, though, that showed like he can go through some of that animosity and adversity and come out on top. So I'm definitely gonna go Derek Lewis, probably second round knockout.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Junior Dos Sandos doesn't finish in the first. That Derek Lewis will knock him out in the second or third.
5 rounds for sure. I don't see it going that long at all. So that's basically our wrap up for this.
I have one more.
Night.
One more.
Yeah. What, is it on this card?
No, not this card.
Okay, so that's our wrap up for this card.
Yes.
So for the fight night that's happening this weekend, Derek Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos.
Plus?
ESPN Plus, is it the one you got to rent? That's the one you got to pay for?
Possible.
All right, so we'll just have highlights of the fights probably because we don't pay for that. We're not Joe Rogan, okay? We can't afford that. Unless Joe wants to pay for it, then we'll watch it. So basically, that's what we got for the fight night, and that's our rundown for the Smith and Jones fight, which was again an awesome fight, and hats off to Anthony Smith for just sticking in there, showing the brass balls that he has and that got him into the position that he's in. So hats off to him. And John Jones, of course, always the technician that he is, and just kind of proved his dominance and why he deserves to be where he is, and even with all the allegations, still a crazy athlete.
Goats to goat, man.
All right, so what's his surprise fight you got to throw at us?
I don't know if it's a surprise, like for real fight. I saw a poster for a potential fight.
Yeah, we seen the Cowboy Cerrone or Cowboy and McGregor poster too. That didn't add up.
Yeah, no.
So let's see it. Let's hear it.
BJ Penn and Clay Guida.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like,
dude, I saw
10 years ago, I was.
stop. It's not even. Well, that's not
No,
even a
like,
fight. I
because
thought
you
it was a
said
real
something
fight.
earlier that was like, it was like something that made you sad. I was like, you wait.
Yeah, that hurts my inside. And I actually seen that, and then there was a
The
meme
Incredibles.
underneath it.
I think I
Yeah, you
shared
seen
it.
the same. Well, you shared
Yeah.
that. I just read stuff. I was like, yeah, but it was like, I'm not ready for this.
I'm
hurt.
not strong
I'm not
enough.
strong enough. That's exactly how I feel too. It's like no,
Yeah.
like I like Clay and I like BJ, but I liked them again 10 years ago.
That would have been a
decade
beautiful
ago,
fight.
but.
Can you guys just go home?
They're literally they're trying to get ahead of Bellator. They're like, we're going to put all these old fuckers and let them fight before Bellator can do it, or before fucking Oscar De La Hoya can get a hold of them. You know, it's like,
Man.
it's sad to see. It's like, and I don't think people leave it nowadays, or like, maybe the UFC's like, oh, but it's a made money fight, 2 veterans, but it's like, dude, I don't care.
Nobody now knows
I
about
don't-
BJ Penn.
No, and nobody
Maybe a
cares.
few
Nobody cares who
kind of knows about
Guida
Clay,
is
because
either.
he's had a few recent fights.
He's
in
had
the
a
last
couple
year or
good
two.
fights, but nothing.
Nothing
Like, he
that I
knocked
think-
out Takanargomi. That was a pretty good fight, but
Nothing in the in the
nothing
runnings,
stands
but
out.
he's still staying alive.
Barely.
BJ Penn is not staying alive anymore.
Yeah.
And he was my favorite since day one.
I got it tattooed on my belly, bro. I know. I know how bad it hurts, bro. But it's just stop, BJ. Your family's rich. You don't need the money. Just like
Yeah. You have your own UFC gym in Hawaii.
yeah, you don't need it.
We love you, man.
If that does happen, I hope BJ wins. Of course, honestly, a funny little story. You know, Logan here, he fought Jason Guida, who is Clay Guida's older brother,
Alright.
and they fought here in Rochester. And I actually met Clay Guida's parents, his mom and dad, and talked to them for probably 2 hours. And then I met Jason Guida and talked to them for about 2 hours. Like, you know, just all together as a big group. We just talked and stayed after the fights, and they were
Because
like,
Clay's from Chicago, right?
he's from somewhere. He actually like had one of his first or second fights here in Rochester.
Okay.
Against Jed Dino, who was like a local legend back in the day, and Clay ended up beat him by a 3-round decision. But I heard that when Clay came in the ring, he was like a wild man back then. Like he came in and did like way crazier than he is now. Like he did like the monkey dance, like where he like jump around like a monkey, and then he would like roll and into a takedown. Like he would do like a somersault roll into a double leg takedown, and that's how he was like bouncing back and forth. I heard it was a super crazy fight. And Jed Dino, the guy he's fighting, had no fucking idea what to do. He was like, what the hell? Like, Clay's also a really good wrestler, so when
Yeah.
he dove in and got his legs, Jed was like, I am stuck. You know, so it sounds like it was just a really weird fight, but I talked to them and like talk about how Clay grew up and how he's just crazy all the way through his high school, like growing up through school and high school and stuff. And he was just always a wild man. And it was really weird just to like be like, wow, like I wish I was meeting him, not his parents. But
Right.
this is the closest thing I'm gonna get. You know,
Let's make it
so I
count.
was like, what was he like? You know, what does he do? You know, like.
He's
And
carpenter.
it was
wasn't
weird. Yeah, he was a carpenter. Yeah, and he was just like a rough, tough kid who wrestled and was really good at wrestling in high school and shit, and just ended up didn't want to be a carpenter anymore and wanted to be a fighter. And his older brother was doing it, so he followed his brother's footsteps. And I mean, his brother's got 60 fights or something crazy, you know. And
Well, I'm sure Clay does too.
unfortunately, I think Logan took him a little lightly and got knocked out pretty quick, unfortunately. But it was just one of those things too. And Logan's like a 185 and it was a heavyweight or something, you know. So it was
Yeah.
it was one of those decisions you take, and you know you probably wish you didn't, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And I'm glad Logan took the fight just because I got to meet Jason and and the mom and dad, which was so surreal. They were just like, yeah, you know Clay Guido, like yeah, like where are his parents? Didn't his brother just
One
like,
more
where's
time?
he at? Like, oh well, he actually trains at a gym and lives like I think he lived in Albuquerque at the time or something. So
Okay, because
he was down there. And,
Jackson Lake.
they were still up in Chicago, is where they were living. And his brother never really took it as to like the next. I guess maybe not as I wouldn't say serious, but he just never took it to that next level like he could have, like his brother did.
Yeah.
And I think his brother was
Like,
kind of
this is what
like,
I'm
kind of like
gonna
the Mickey Ward story, where like the older brother was first successful, but then the younger brother really took over and really seen what the potential in the family and himself was, and was like I can be better than that kind of.
Yeah.
You know, so that was a good one. So, I mean, I guess I'm
I
excited.
guess
to
that
see
was
it,
my
but-
big announcement.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited to see that. I guess because I like both of them, but it's like again, I wish it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, guys, if you agree with us, disagree with us, if you watch the podcast, like, comment, share, tell friends that we're talking about this. Maybe somebody likes fighting, and maybe they want to kind of get more of a amateur.
Send us
aspect,
comments.
Yeah.
We'll
Send
read
us
'em.
comments, and if there's any fights you guys want to talk about, or previous fights, past fights coming up,
Bellator.
anything, jiu-jitsu tournaments. You want to talk about Gordon Ryan doing steroids? Just send us some kind of topics. We'll talk about anything basically, as long as it's. We'll give a rundown of basically anything that's martial arts, MMA related. Usually we're doing kind of fights right now. just kind of what's popular.
We did have a good tournament this weekend.
We had a really good tournament. We had great turnout. We had, I want to say 12 kids, and 11 of the 12 kids medaled. The one that didn't medal, unfortunately, I think she's 8, got put in like the 10 and 12 bracket or something. So the kids were quite a bit older than her. So everybody did awesome, and where our gym's going right now is amazing. And Evangeline, the girl we always talk about, I'm sure we're gonna have her dad on 2 pounds at some point. Just got her yellow belt. Went out and beat an orange and white belt, or orange and gray belt, or whatever it was, and somebody that's supposed to be so much better than her already, and she just got 3rd in the world. So our jiu-jitsu and our team, Imperial here, and we're affiliated with Start BJJ, and so now that we're affiliated with that, it's all blowing up, and it's amazing. So stick with us and keep coming back for more info on our fights, or I got a tournament coming up on the 16th. Jay's got a fight coming up in 3 weeks. The 23rd, right?
23rd?
23rd of March.
Yours 16th?
Yep, mine's the 16th of March.
Then we
So
got a
mine will be
bunch
a
of
jiu-jitsu tournament coming up. Yeah, his is coming up. His fight's coming up. His pro debut, which is super exciting.
Message me for tickets.
Yeah, he's got tickets. If you want tickets, message him. Otherwise, just show up to Austin and watch him kick the shit out of some poor guy. Because most likely that's what's going to happen. We were doing some cage drilling today, and he's looking on point. I couldn't get the fuck away, so hopefully he does what he does to me today in the cage. So most likely he will, because he's the Magic Man. So again, like, share, subscribe, comment to any of us, anything you want us to talk about. Any kind of fights, anything coming up, anything controversial. We'll talk about anything. We'll try to keep it fight related and mixed martial arts related, or martial arts in general related.
We ain't doing baseball, okay?
Yeah, we're not gonna do football, we're not gonna do baseball. But if there's anything, maybe pro wrestling or something, because there's a lot of pro wrestlers coming over now that are, or vice versa, coming from MMA going to pro wrestling. And I've always been a big fan of that. If there's something you want to talk about.
I did hear Rhonda said she would quit the WWE if Cyborg came over.
Did she?
Yeah, she's still running from her.
Yeah, I would too. I would too if I was her. But she should be running from Amanda. That's who beat them both up bad too, and beat them both up the same fashion.
Right.
So
she's scared.
Yeah. All right. Well, so this has been the rundown on the Prodigy. It's the Magic Man, and we'll catch you guys soon. Thank you guys for catching us, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Good night.
Oh, fuck you.